All right, so I'm going to use this video to walk through a comparison of the Microsoft Power Platform, also calling it Microsoft Dynamics, versus Salesforce to showcase the difference between building the same thing on the two platforms. The example I'm going to use here is looking at membership changes. So a contact with a membership that might be coming up for renewal, and is the renewal an upgrade or a downgrade, and how far out from the end date did they renew. The approach I'm going to use is to store the previous membership level, which is I'll call program, and the end date on the renewal record so that I can easily look at the current and previous level, current and previous, and then the start date of the new record and the end date the member had previously, to do some math and see how many days away from the renewal, from the end date, the renewal took place. So pretty simple business need. So to do this in Salesforce, I'm going to go ahead and spin up a flow here and start from scratch, record trigger flow. And first thing I'll do is find my membership record here. It's already set to say record created. I'm not going to worry about any condition requirements. I'm going to optimize for fast field updates. And to do the same thing in Power Platform, I'll use Power Automate. I'm going to go through and do a new flow, automated cloud flow. First, I need to kind of figure out what the trigger is going to be. And there's a lot more options here, but I can find Dataverse pretty easily. And I have to start by specifying I'm just going to run when it's added. Here's my table names, membership. I also need to select a scope, organization. So we've got both of these things in both places. The next step for Power Automate is I need to get the contact that is related to the membership so I can pull in the program and end date. So I need to kind of use another action here, select contact, and here I'm going to look for the contact. I need to know that this is the contact value. So there's three options when I select contact. So kind of knowing to select value, this is the ID. So now I've got contact. And then in, we'll kind of hop back to Salesforce here. So for Salesforce, all I want to do is update the triggering record, and we'll say set previous values. So I already have this selected. It's the membership record that triggered the flow. I'm going to look here for previous end date I want to set, and I also want to set previous program. When I go in here, I can already see I have these available. So I want to use something that was the membership record that kicked it off. I want to use the contact that the membership's associated with. And here I'm just going to look at the end date. So all of this is already mapped out for me, and it's very clear kind of there's a clear path to getting there, and I don't need this get records action that I do in Power Automate. For previous program, same thing. Go here, look at the membership, contact, and program. And this is it. I've set the previous end date. I've set the previous program. I can go ahead and save it. And I'll say membership, set previous values. Boom. On Power Platform, so I had to take this extra step to get a contact. I'm now going to go ahead and update row. And in this case, go find memberships. I can't just use this same record. That's not quite as clean. So I need to say we're going to update this row based off of the same ID here. So not too bad. Go ahead and set, I want to set previous end date, and I want to set that to the end date of the contact that I found. So this is the contact that I found. Go ahead and set the end date there. Now, unfortunately, I cannot set the program in this step, because if I try to, most contacts will have a program specified if they're a member, but if that value is missing, or if it is a new member that has not been in the system previously and that value is blank, the flow is going to fail. And so I need to add a condition here to check whether or not the program, and again, here I need to know that its value is equal to function, type in null. So I'm checking to see whether or not the contact had that lookup populated. If it did, I'm not going to do anything, because if I try to write that value in, the flow is going to fail. And if not, I'll have to do another row, another action here to update a row. Memberships. And here we'll say this is back here, this membership that kicked it off. And I want to set previous program. So this is another tricky piece where you can see in parentheses here, this is programs. I cannot simply go in here and set the contacts program like this. This is going to break the flow. I need to wrap this in the schema name for the table. Not only that, I also need to know what the schema name, the plural of the schema name is. So this is a program. The table's name is program, but I also need to know the plural name is programs. And I need to know whether or not there is something else that comes before it. So this is not what I need. I can look at the table name here in Power Apps, and I can see that the logical name, schema name is PL membership. And this PL is the prefix for the solution that I'm working in. I cannot actually see what the plural of the schema name is. So I have to extrapolate that the plural name is memberships and the schema name is PL membership, and to use PL, excuse me, I'm looking at program memberships here, but the table here is program. So program properties, same thing. Plural name is programs, logical name and schema name PL program, and I need to add that here. If I don't do that, it's going to break. So knowing how to piece that together is critical. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. And so as you can see, it took a lot longer to build this in Power Automate. It took quite a few more steps compared to the flow that I built in Salesforce, where it's really just one step. When I walked through this whole thing in Scribe, you can see for Salesforce, it took 33 steps and 2 minutes when I was just running right through it. In Power Automate, it took 93 steps and 4 minutes. So almost 3 times as many steps, twice as long to achieve the same outcome, which here is, you can see I've got my contact record, end date, my program is basic membership. Today is September 12th. And so if I go ahead and create a new membership, what I'd like to see here is that I can look at this membership and see that the previous values, whoops, I think I hadn't turned my flow on here. So we'll go ahead and activate it. But if I go ahead and do this again, create a new membership and test. This then gives me the previous values. And so if I had populated the new program and the end date, I could calculate and say, okay, I renewed 18 days early here. And same deal on Power Platform. So I've got my flow going here in the contact record. I could go in and create a new membership. Go ahead and save it. Flow will run. Go ahead and refresh it. Refresh it. Oops. Refresh it. Okay, there we go. Previous program, previous end date. And so as you can see, the Salesforce happened instantly. Dynamics I had to refresh a couple times. So overall, just trying to showcase the difference in building the same functionality on either platform.